Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? I am super excited to be with you guys today. I am bringing you this week 2 bundles out of the mini catalog that ends on June the 30th. It's the January to June mini, and one of the bundles is the one I'm using for this video. Check out tomorrow's video where I will show another bundle that I'm using, and then from there on out the rest of my videos will have both bundles used at the same time. So I'm introducing the Home and Garden bundle this time, and it includes this stamp set and these dies. I've also paired it with the potted succulents dies. I've used this die right here, this label die, for the words. I just thought it really fit very well. So that is what I have used. And I also used the Fern 3D embossing folder, which is out of the new annual catalog. I think you guys will really love this folder. It's super awesome. And I'm going to start with this first. I'm going to show you how I got this look right here. So embossing folders, you put a piece of paper inside here, and then you put it closed, and then you crank it through the die cut machine. Well, with this particular one, what I did was I opened it up, and on the side that says Stampin' Up here, I opened my Mossy Meadow ink pad, and I inked it all up so that this whole side was coated with the green. Then I put my piece of basic white cardstock inside, and then I closed it, and then I cranked it through the machine, and when I pulled it out, it added that Mossy Meadow in between all the lower pieces, and the raised pieces were white, and that's how I got that look right there. So I just wanted to explain that so that you guys would know how I went about doing that. It is a really fun technique, and you will enjoy doing it if you try it yourself. Also, my little classic matte dots that I used here, I'm going to pull those out. I'm going to show you how I did those. So they come in this package in gray, vanilla, white, and black. You can see I haven't used any black ones, but I've used the other colors because I happen to have matte black dots a little bit larger, which I prefer. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends here. And I'm going to use the brush tip, and I am going to color my classic matte dot with this Mossy Meadow. So there's that one. I'm going to do the large one also. And if you want it dark, you just have to let it dry and then go back over the top of it, which is what I did to the ones there. But basically, you can take those white ones and turn them into colors by using your Stampin' Blends. So there are those. I'm going to set them to the side. We'll use them later. Let's go ahead and get started on our card. So this is a Z fold card because it looks like the letter Z from the top. And I have used the layering circle dies, and I have cut the largest, whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to move my mat on you. The largest of the scallop dies, and then the largest of the circles. And those are going to get layered one right on top of the other. You know, I use these layering circle dies all the time. Let me put some adhesive on the back and get that going. This is my silicone mat that I've put down here. I use it all the time whenever I use wet glue because I tend to make a mess. And the mat keeps all the glue mess on it and not on my project. Okay, so I'm just going to set that to the side. We're going to glue all our parts and pieces on it. Again, I have this piece that I created how I showed you earlier. I have a double bow made with the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. You get 5 different colors. I use this craft color. And basically what I did was I folded it in half, like so. I have about 10 inches or so of twine. And then I'm just gonna make 2 loops and make myself a little bow. And when I'm satisfied with how it looks, I'm just gonna pull on these ends. And when I'm happy with how it looks, little by little, I'm just gonna make it smaller. I like them kind of small, my loops on my bows. So bear with me while I get it as little as I want. And I do like to do a double loop. I think they're really pretty, especially when you use the twine because it's so thin. So there are my 2 small loops, and now I'm going to pull them tight. And then as you can see, because I started with that folded in half piece, I just have to trim. And there is my bow. I'll cut the ends as we need to when I go to put it on the card. I'm just starting to assemble all of my parts. So I've already stamped ahead the birthday wishes, and we're gonna color all of these guys. And I will show you how I go about doing that. I used the Mellow Moss, or I'm sorry, yeah, Mossy Meadow, Mellow Moss. I used that. I used Soft Suede, and I used Smoky Slate. And when you buy these, you get 2 of every color, a light and a dark. So I have a light and dark Smoky Slate. I have a light and dark Soft Suede, and a light and dark Mossy Meadow. I'm going to start with the Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to use the light color to do the accent parts on my piece, and I'm gonna do all of my my gloves. And then where the artist put those lines, you'll see all these little marks, you know, where they did all these little marks. And I did stamp these with the Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad. If you're wondering what ink pad the outline is, it's this ink pad right here. I stamped all of them, and then I die cut them out. I just didn't think that you wanted to sit here and watch me die cut a whole bunch of stuff out, so I went ahead and did it ahead of time. If you do need help with die cutting, let me know. I'll be happy to do a video for you or talk you through it. So I'm just following these little lines that the artist gave me, and that's how I'm going to get the highlights on the gloves. So we'll set those to the side. Those are ready. Now let's work on the Smoky Slate. So again, I'm going to use the lighter color first, and I'm going to work on this trowel. I'm also going to work on the spade here of my shovel. Making sure that I'm nice and colored in here. All right. And then I'm also going to do this part of the handle, just like that. And then also on the blades of this lopper. I don't know, the hedge trimmer, I don't know what to call it, but I'm going to go over that also. And then I'm going to also do the tines of my rake. So I'm just going through making it a metal rake instead of a plastic one. And I'm just going to follow these tines just like that. That looks good to me. I'm going to add a little bit of green as an accent here. All right, and so now comes our dark Smoky Slate, and just like I did with the gloves, I'm just going to follow the lines that the artist gave me, and I'm also going to add just a tiny bit on the spots where I think it needs it. We don't need as much dark on the rake. I'm just going to do in a couple of those, and then same here. I'm going to follow these little lines. All right, on to our last color. Move those out of the way. We're going to use the light Smoky Slate, and we're going to color in. And again, I will come back with the dark, but let me get all my light, not Smoky Slate, this is soft suede. So I'm going to do all my light soft suede first. Do the handle of the shovel, and then do these pieces here. I really love the fern. I think it turned out really, really nice. That background with the fern. So let's go ahead, and I love coloring with these blends because it's so fast. You see how fast I've colored these in, and it's quite a few pieces because they're called blends for a reason. They're alcohol-based markers, and the alcohol seeps into the cardstock, and it helps you color really quickly. So we will work on the steps of this ladder, and then I'm going to come back with my dark soft suede, and we'll do all the highlighting. Okay, so there is that. One more to go, and then we can start assembling our card. Okay, so again, I'm just following the lines that the artist gave us. There are guides, and I'm going to add a few more of my own as I feel they need them. Just like that. And I'm going to also do each of the steps, just that dark black line. I'm going to outline that so that it kind of shows up a little more. All right, so there is that. Let's do the lines on all of our smaller tools. Just like that. All right, one more to go, the rake. And then we can start assembling. Now, when I attached those to my circle here, I did use the multi-purpose glue. So now I have all my little pieces here. We'll be using this in a second again. Now, sorry that if my mat is super crooked, guys. I'm gonna check it in a little bit, but for right now, I think we're good. My website is up here, inkyhandswarmhearts.com, and I do link it in the description below. So I'm sorry if you can't see it well. I apologize, but probably you do see it just fine. So this is our card base. It's Mossy Meadow, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. I've used scraps of paper for everything else except for the piece that has the fern. That is 2 inches by 5 1/4 inches. All right. And then I'm folding that piece back, as you can see. So I folded it in half, and then I folded this piece back. That's what forms that special opening on this card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue my fern piece to this side. I'm going to put it on my mat here. I do like using the wet glue for anything that has embossing like this because it fills in to all those little nooks and crannies, and it really helps to bond the cardstock. So it holds it down real nice. All right, so let's go ahead and attach this piece. That looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Yeah, I like it. All right, now comes the assembly process of this part. I'm actually going to stamp on this, and we're going to use the Mossy Meadow ink. The reason that the other ones I didn't stamp in front of you is because I had to die cut them. And like I said, I didn't think you wanted to sit here, watch me stamp everything, die cut everything, color everything. So this is going to be the inside, and it says, "To the man who can do anything." Just like that. That's going to be the inside of our card. I'm going to go ahead and clean that one stamp. I do like to clean as I go. It just helps to, for me, it's just my thing, I guess. Everybody does things their own way, right? That's what I do. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to use my seal adhesive. And we're going to attach this piece right here on the inside. And this piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4 of the basic white. All right, that's what we have so far. Let's assemble all these onto our little piece. We're going to start with our ladder, and it looks like almost all of the ladder is going to fit on there. So I'm going to take my wet glue, and I'm going to make sure that I don't put too much, but I definitely want some up here to hold that piece, and I don't need to go all the way to the bottom because the rungs or the feet of the ladder do stick out a little bit from my die cut. So we'll get that part going. Let me grab my tweezers. I do like to use those when I use wet adhesive. All right, so we're going to start with our ladder, and it's going to kind of be a little bit off here to this side, like so. Okay. That looks good so far. What do you guys think? Got our ladder. Now let's put our shovel. Now our shovel is going to be attached like this, and this handle section is going to be off. So I'm only going to glue down here, and then this portion of my shovel. Grab my tweezer. And again, we're going to place it down on our piece. And just like that, let's do our little trowel. The whole piece looks like it's attached, so we'll put some adhesive on there. We'll put that this direction, and I'm going to kind of have it close to this point here. I really want it to show. Very nice. Time for our rake. So let's place it. The rake's going to kind of come over kind of how the shovel did. And so a little portion of it is not going to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and put mostly all, but I'm going to leave a little bit of adhesive at the top. I don't want it sticking out. I'm going to put this over here just in case I miss. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll attach that, and we'll put our rake. All right, so next come our loppers, or I don't know exactly what you guys call them, but that's what I call them. And the two ends there, they stick up. This one, the one on the top, sticks off a little, so I'm not going to go all the way to end with that. So that one gets, so I'm going to stick that out like that. That looks good so far. What do you guys think? I like it. Okay, so these last two pieces here are going to get attached with dimensionals. So we are going to start with the gloves. I'm just going to take a large dimensional, and I'm going to put one on the back. And then this one hopefully will fit the large ones also. We're going to put, I'm not going to go all the way to the end because it sticks out. So I'm just going to put another one about right there. And then I'm going to use my take your pick tool. I'm going to pull the backs off of those 3 dimensionals. Those are regular size dimensionals that I used. And we are going to start with the birthday wishes. Oh, I forgot to color it in. I still can do it while I have it in my hand. So I'm going to grab my Mousy Meadow, and what I forgot to do is right here there's some stitching, and I wanted to color the edge above that little stitching with my Stampin' Blends. So I'm just going to go over it and then hold it like how I did right there. And let's grab this side, and we'll hold it, and I'm going to do the ends again. Then we'll come down this side. I almost forgot. I wanted like a little frame around that. So I did use my Stampin' Blends. And again, I'm going to come on the edge and make sure I got all the white spots. And then the last little piece is this point on this side, just like that. And again, do both of those. All right, so let's do birthday wishes, and it comes right here in this middle rung of the ladder. That looks pretty good. What do you guys think? And then let's put the gloves down here, kind of a little bit up onto the, that looks awesome. We'll do this ribbon last. So now we want to put some adhesive on here. So what I want to do is I want to position, I want to make sure it covers these words, and I kind of want to center my circle in the middle. So once I figure that out, what I'm going to do is hold it in place, and I'm going to turn it this direction. I'm going to grab a pencil, and I'm just going to put a little mark on my circle. Can you see that? Hopefully you guys can see the mark. So now on this side of the mark, that's what's going to overhang. We don't want any glue on this side. We want glue on the other. So let's go ahead and put some wet glue. It doesn't have to be right up to the line. And then I can erase that line. Okay. All right, and then I'll finish putting my glue. All right, so now I'm going to close my card, and I'm going to lay my piece right about there, and then slide it into place. When I'm happy with the placement, I will press and then make sure that there's no glue sticking out, and there is not. So that's what we have so far. Now we're going to go ahead and put our mini glue dots. So let me grab those, and that's what we're going to put up behind our twine. So I'm going to grab the pointy end of my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to ball up this mini glue dot. There it is on the tip of my Take Your Pick tool. Hopefully you guys can see it. I know sometimes when I get this close it gets a little blurry, but we're going to put it on the back of our bow. And then we're going to attach that right here on the corner. I kind of like this one long. I left the other one shorter, but I kind of like this one long, so I'm going to leave it. And then remember those classic matte dots that we used in the beginning? I painted them with the Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blend. We're going to bring those back in. I'm going to use the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to grab one. I'm going to stick it over here by this trowel, and then the other two I'm going to put right here in the middle where the rungs of this ladder are to bring a pop of that color there. What do you guys think? I like it. And so you can see that we have used these really awesome classic matte dots, the Fern 3D embossing folder, layering circles, and of course the star of the show today, the Heart and Home bundle. Some Stampin' Blends to do some quick coloring. And I think it turned out fabulous. What do you guys think? Let me make sure that we are still on camera. I am double checking for you. Maybe raise me a little higher. There we go. So the Heart and Home bundle is what I am showcasing today. So definitely check that out. The links are in the description below. I hope that you enjoyed watching me make this really fun card introducing the Heart and Home bundle to you today. You can check out my blog. I do blog on a daily basis, and I look forward to spending more time with you soon. Thanks for watching. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!